we'll go from there, man. Let's see.
So now tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. So I took this girl to Trulux and she orders the prime ribeye medium with the king crab truffle butter. It looked amazing. It looked amazing. She doesn't finish it, puts it in to-go box. We end up leaving. I drop her off at her place. She gives me the weakest side hug ever. I was like, all right, I can tell. Like, I'm never probably going to see you again. I was fine with that, but cool. I get to driving up the street. I'm probably like 3 minutes up the road, and I see her calling, and then I look in the back seat, and I see the to-go box. Am I wrong for putting my phone on do not disturb? I hit her back once I got home, but am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right.
I like the fact that you
right.
did that. I'm like the fact that you did that because the way she treated you, right? When she got out the car, and you got to be able to read body language. You got to understand mannerisms. You understand in that situation, she knew she didn't like you, but she basically saw you as the food guy. You were the food guy. I'm glad you kept that meal, young bull. I'm glad you kept that meal.
Yeah.
You got to understand, never date the women you like. Don't chase after women you like. Date the ones that like you. It makes the transition into doing what you want so much more smoother and peaceful. Women know they have no interest in those type of individuals. They're really not attracted to them. But, oh, wait, you want to take me out? Oh, a free meal? They're definitely going. Definitely going. You got to be able to decipher the two, especially a woman that would say, we have to go to certain restaurants. We got to go on a certain outing for it to be considered a date.
Yeah.
That's a red flag in itself.
Yeah. I think the thing is, but he picked up on it earlier. He said she gave him the weakest goodbye ever. Right. It probably meant that he wasn't going to see her again. So he picked up on it. Maybe it was a little bit too late. She had already got the meal out of, because it's hard to tell, Ocho, because like, let's go out to eat. I want to get to know you, so forth and so on. So everybody's saying all the right things. It's not until you actually get on there, you get to talking and everything that you like, nah, this is probably not it.
Yeah. And you know what, one thing, and I hate, and I can share this, because of my dating experiences. The one thing I hate about dating or meeting someone new is you never know who they really are, because all you're meeting their representative.
Correct.
You meet everybody's representative, and you never know a person's true colors until things aren't going well.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy. It's easy to be in love. It's easy to be all happy and when things are going right. When the situation itself is beneficial and it's convenient. But you never see a person's true colors until shit goes wrong.
True.
And that's when you know who you really have. And I hate that it has to come to that for those true intentions to be revealed.
All right. So here's our thing. First, your initial thoughts on the video, and then my second question is, why is it that we have this era of transactional marketing amongst men and women? True or false, do women only date men based on what they can offer them? And do they pour into a person depending on how much they can benefit from the other person? Let's start with Sydney, man. Watching this video, listening to this brother's story at the beginning of it, and then you hear the commentary at the end. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your take?
I do agree that there are women that come into a relationship with that mindset, that go into dating. I think a lot of them are raised with that perspective. I'm not saying like a lot of women across the board. I'm saying like a lot of those women that come into the relationships thinking that the man is the money, the man is the resource, they were raised that way. I don't think it's something that a woman is just going to suddenly in high school, she's gonna be like, you know what, I'm going to start using men for their money. Like, I think it's definitely something that parents are teaching them, parents are instilling into them, and are kind of instilling at an early age. But I don't think it's in all women. I don't think women across the board have this mentality. Granted, I don't even know if it's on the rise. There's probably a relationship between like consumerism now and the idea that somebody needs to be your resource. There's a lot more people in debt today. There's a lot more people that can't afford to live. The cost of living is really expensive. So I know that there are a lot of people that do have that mentality, but I don't think it's all women. I think there are a lot of decent women out there that are like 50-50 types or just don't really have that expectation. There's a lot of women out there too that are like hyper independent, where they're like, I don't need somebody to support me. I can do this myself. If I find a man that jives with me, then sure. But I don't think all women are like that. But unfortunately, I do think that there are women that are like that.
Zay, let's say you're this brother, and this is the interaction between you and her. Is this a conversation you had with her before the date? Did you go into this assuming that the chemistry was there already? Did you go into this initially with the understanding that nothing more is going to come out of it other than just a date? How do you see yourself in this situation where she pretty much took you for a free meal and went on about her way?
Honestly, I feel like if I was in this situation, I probably would just talk to her about it and be like, hey, I don't think this is right for me because now you're just using me. And I don't like being used. So I feel like I'm gonna have to let you go. Because when a relationship becomes transactional, at that point it's transactional. And at that point, it feels like it doesn't feel like the balance is there. It feels like you're putting more work than the other. And they have this like fixation that you are going to do everything for this person. And I'm not that type of person. So I only put energy if it's reciprocated, me personally. So if it's not reciprocated, yeah, I'm going to have to tell her, I'm going to let you go.
Coach, can you detect if a person is genuinely into you at the beginning stage before you get in your car, put gas in it, get dressed, put on the smell goods, set up the restaurant, get the table? Can you automatically tell beforehand, prior to arriving at this place, if this is going to be more than what you expected? Or do you even go into this expecting anything out of it?
Yeah, I think that's probably the better question is, do you walk into it expecting something out of it? Again, you probably should have had that conversation prior to, so you should know what you're walking into. To buy somebody dinner and complain about what they had, what they ordered, run down the menu, you probably shouldn't have took them to dinner. It's probably something that you might have been out of your price range, or you probably had some expectations that wasn't articulated prior to. That was probably your bad. If you're looking to get something in exchange for dinner, I think you probably got some low self-esteem or some low standards. And then you didn't want to give her the plate. I'm thinking if you went through dinner, because both of y'all both had to be there, so you had to be a part of that conversation to realize that that shit wasn't going the right way. So then there shouldn't be any surprises at the end if he says at the end of the night it was a cold exchange. I'm sure she probably led to that and showed the signs leading up to it. I don't think that it was just kind of spur of the moment type thing. And again, depending on how petty you want to be, to put on do not disturb for some leftovers, that's completely up to you. You know, again, that's just probably something that should have been communicated. If you didn't think the date was going that well, probably should have identified it and probably should have went separate ways. But again, that just goes back to communication. And then your part two was everyone dates someone based on what they can offer. Absolutely. If you don't have anything to offer, then what exactly are we talking about? So you have to bring something tangible to the table, or there's probably not a mutual interest. So you absolutely have to bring something to the table.
Rob, what do you say to a specific group of women who say, my presence is everything that you need? We're both benefiting because I'm here sitting across the table from you. I agree with everything everybody else have said. Like, basically, you want to know going into this what it's going to be like. I don't go into a date expecting sex at the end of it. I go into the date expecting to get to know the person a little bit. I want to know if this is going to be something further afterwards, or if it's just, oh, I kind of misjudged my initial assessment of your attraction. Yeah, I saw you look good, but listening to you speak, yeah, it's not going to work out. But a lot of people already got it in their mind what they're going to do going into it. So based on what you saw in the video, and for those who say it's automatic that I'm supposed to just pay for the date, and Coach said something that I thought was interesting. It's supposed to be a mutual exchange. We both here for a reason. Are you still? I guess I'm asking too many questions at once. You said something to me about that the other day. Let me just stop here. What's your initial thoughts? Because I'm going on to other stuff.
I'm all over the place too. I gotta be politically correct tonight. This is what I know. Women will have 2 or 3 people that will give them what they want. They'll have the plumber, the car fix man, the electrician, the food man. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on where you fall in that list. On the other hand, at the end of the day, if you're in a relationship, if you're mature, you're going to spend money regardless of what. You're not. After you've grown up and you realize what it takes to have the lifestyle you want, 9 out of 10 times, I'm thinking you're not going to mess with somebody that cannot contribute to your lifestyle. So you're going to spend money either way. With that, men pay. We pay. Whichever way you slice it. Don't have to be straight out, whatever. We pay for everything. And that's where a lot of the women come from, to where, hey, I had this guy that did this and that, so that's what you're going to do. Now, to your very first question, at the end of the day, I don't even mess with my own family members like that. it ain't nobody in my life no more. I cut all of that off to where you feel like your presence is my blessing. I don't even rock like that's a big headache. I don't care who it is. It could be my mama. At the end of the day, if you're not pouring into me like I'm pouring into you, I must separate. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that the hard way. And that's this coming from a person that chased women for years. So I think with that conversation, taking the food back or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That was petty because if you got something, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, too, some people be so disrespectful. A lot of times that you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So if that's how he felt like he was right, it wasn't right. And that's the good thing about dating, right? Because clearly you dodged the bullet. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, he probably saved his own life, stopped from a headache, or he could have been the headache. Because if you thinking like that, you know what I'm saying? Clearly, that wasn't supposed to make it. But no, nowadays, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right now, at the end of the day, though, if you're getting in a relationship, both people are paying. I don't care which way you slice it. And I know now that I'm thinking again is that we pay. Like that's why we get the big house. That's